Let's take everybody to Milwaukee. It looks like we're already there, actually, and behind us. Day two is starting at the Republican National Convention. Former U.S. President Donald Trump joined his vice presidential pick, JD Vance, on stage. The two of them are together at the Republican National Convention. This happened last night. This is Trump's first appearance since an attempted assassination over the weekend. You see him there with a bandage over his right ear. Joining us this morning with the latest on day two of the convention is Vashi Pellis with CTV News. Vashi, great to have you there on the ground. I saw you interviewing the ambassador to the U.S. What's on the agenda for day two?
So day two is all focused on the issue of crime and safety, which translation to the Republicans right now, the foremost issue is immigration. So the name of the theme is Make America Safe Again. Yesterday, it was around cost of living. Make America Wealthy Again is the tagline that they use. I think those two issues, if we're breaking it down beyond personalities and character and all the other stuff going on, cost of living and crime and safety, primarily immigration, are the top two issues right now for American voters. So today I expect to be very heavy on immigration and immigration policy.
Remind everybody, what's the tie they're making between safety and immigration?
So essentially, it all involves not our border, but the border that the U.S. shares with Mexico and the level of immigration that's taken place over the last number of years through quote unquote illegal means. So essentially people crossing that border who do not have refugee or immigration status yet. The numbers have been very high. And as a result, there are a host of issues derived from that. Now, those issues are characterized in very different ways by Republicans and Democrats. But even on the Democratic side, you've seen some policy shifts, in recent months by Joe Biden, sort of a tacit acknowledgement that this is a hugely political issue and has proven to be quite a vulnerability for his party. At the same time, there are some vulnerabilities for the Republicans as well, particularly in the way that they talk about this issue. They use the word illegal aliens quite frequently. They blame a lot of the crime that's taking place in a lot of those border states on immigrants, not always, in many cases, backed up by facts. And so I'm really curious to see the rhetoric that's going to be used today, because it's a very immediate proof point to what we heard over the weekend, right? From both the Democrats and Republicans, from both Trump and Biden. They're going to tone down the rhetoric. I'm very curious to see if that actually comes to fruition on this issue specifically today.
Well, Vashi, that brings me to my last question with you. There was a lot of talk about unity following the weekend's assassination attempt on Trump. Are you seeing that? What's the feeling on the floor? I mean, you're there in the room. Walk us through that.
I think, look, I don't think all of a sudden people at the RNC are going to become big fans with Joe Biden. The contrast between Trump and Biden is one that's very significant and important to them. But what I will say is I listened to the entire, almost 98% of the day yesterday. There were a lot of governors on the stage, a lot of congressmen and congresswomen. There were very few people who went hard at Joe Biden. There were some, certainly. But in most instances, even when they did make a comment about Biden or about the White House, they offered actually a caveat. And they said, like, I'm not trying to make this personal. This is about his policies. So clearly they have internalized to a certain degree what was said over the weekend, and the fact that Trump himself said to Fox News, I'm rewriting my speech to talk about unity and not about division. However, I do think, yesterday was about the economy. It's a bit easier to be more muted on that issue, perhaps, than on the issue of immigration, where the rhetoric associated with it has become such a part of the Republicans' campaign. So I think today offers another proof point about whether that whole idea of toning down things and not being as polarized can actually take hold in the long term.
Look forward to speaking to you again. Vashi, thanks for joining us from Milwaukee.
Anytime.
Hey, thanks for watching. If you liked this, be sure to subscribe here, or you can check out more Your Morning videos right here.